I'm logging into portal, Azure portal. Okay. So yesterday we were designing some big flow, which is about conditional split. But at the time of end, the flow was not completed. Okay. So today, scratch onwards, I will redesign that flow. So the task I will tell you once again. The task is about conditional split. There are many ways to perform the conditional split. One of the ways by using filters. The task explanation is like this. Input container has multiple files. All files which are starting with the letter A should be sent to container X. And all files which start with a B, letter B, that should be distributed into container Y. Already have all data sets and linked services. In last class, we have created them. Okay. So how to design this, we'll see. I'm going to start ADF portal. It's our regular resource group. From this is our ADF instance. So this is Azure Data Factory Studio. So first of all, let's check the linked services what we have ready. So one linked service, LS storage lake 101. So this is for data lake storage lake account, data lake account storage lake 101. Already we have it. And in last class, we have created LS storage lake 104. Okay. Those two are already ready. And check from data lake side. From our data lake, storage lake 101. Here I have a containers. That is source container. Within this, multiple files. Some files are starting with A, some files are starting with B. Okay. All files which start with A should be sent to other different container, which are starting with B, that should be into other different containers. And please check our target data lake and containers also. Our target data lake is storage lake 104. So check the containers here. We have container X, container Y. Container X is empty now. Okay. Similarly, container Y is also empty. but we need data sets for them. We created data sets in our last previous class. Please check those data sets. This is the data set for input. Please check the path. Only we have given source container name, but not a particular directory or particular file. That means what? All files that you can access. So this data set I will use as input source. And what about targets? I have target two data sets here. DS storage lake 104 underscore container X. So this is here also only container is specified, not the particular file. Similarly, container Y also under storage lake 104 container Y. Already we have created them. Okay, straight away I am going to create a pipelines for that. Creating a new pipeline now. The pipeline name, it's a conditional split. Okay. Your first step, get metadata activity. First, I will configure get metadata. Just I am dragging. Now you can configure. Whenever you want to configure, just click on that particular activity. There are two tabs, general and settings. General, in the case of general, you are just giving only the name and other information. In the second, input data set. Our input data set is storage lake 101 underscore source container. Please check for that. This one. Got it. And one more parameter is required. One more option is required here under field list. Configure child item. Okay. So the related configuration ready. Just check its execution. Validation successful. And I am debugging, running under debug mode. Successful, sir. And check the output. We require this field child items. And data type is array. Each element is a JSON record, which is called as an item in ADF. Each element is called item. Okay, how to fetch that item? By using item function, item of. But within that item, you have two fields. Item.name, item.type. Whatever you want, you can take that one. Okay, for this, two additional filters I am going to add. First filter one. This is first filter. And one more filter I will add for this. Filter 2. These two things, these two filters should be executed parallel, not one after one. That's why I am connecting both the things to same get metadata. In the case of filter one, what condition you are expecting, sir? The file name should start with A. I will specify that condition under filter one. Okay, come to the settings. Here two things, items and conditions. Already you know. In case of items, input should be specified. Here, filter criteria, filter condition should be specified. But don't hard code it. Click on add dynamic content. I'm clicking on add dynamic content. Here observe, here you have three options, system variables, functions, and activity outputs. So for my filter, input should be from previous activity. My previous activity is get metadata. Okay, when you click on that automatically at the rate activity of get metadata dot output. But in output, you have a lot of fields. You don't want all fields. Your required information is available in only one field, that is child items. You have to take this. Understood? I'm taking this entire copy and pasting into this box. Got it. Now input is configured and filter condition is pending. The condition, the file name should start with A. Suppose you want to apply a particular, first of all, you have to fetch file name. How to fetch file name? How to fetch your file name? Already input is passed to filter. Input is passed to filter, sir. Sir, already this is double time or triple time you are seeing this example. What field is passed? Child items is passed. Child items shape is like this. Array. Under that array, first element is in JSON record. This JSON has again two fields. One is item, sorry, not item, name. Second thing is type. I want to take this one, this entire thing. How to take that? By using item. But within that item, there are two things. I want only file name. Dot name. If you are calling any function, means the function should start with at the rate. Understand? So in the first iteration, it takes the first file. Same thing will happen for each and every item. So from each item, it takes only file name. But file name is starting with A or not, to check that the condition at the rate starts with that particular file name, comma, yeah. On that way, how to check it. But if you look at this line, there are two functions are involved. Starts with upper level function. Its subfunction is item. You have to give at the rate only for upper function, not for the lower functions. That's why I am removing this at the rate. This is our condition. Suppose if you don't remember these spellings, if you don't remember these function names, then no need to worry. Here, go to the functions. Your task required to string functions. And here check whether there is starts with function or not. Here. But you don't know the syntax of it. Suppose you forget the syntax of starts with function. Just mouse over on the text line. it is giving you some example. Look at the last, all of you. Last line in the box. How to use it has given some examples. Starts with a hello world, comma, hello. That means the starts with function is expecting two arguments. On that way, how to plan it. Got it? Okay. Now starts with of item. This thing I'm copying into condition area. Okay. If there is any spell mistake or syntactical mistake, it will highlight you in red color. Just check it. There is a warning. Invalid. Okay, because I just missed the bracket. That means I violated syntax rules. Got it? So now this is configured perfectly. Filter 1 ready. Same one more condition I am going to apply for filter 2. But the file name should start with. The file name should start with B. Okay, just reverse it. I am reversing my task. All files which are starting with A should be sent to container X, not starting with A. Not start with A. Should be sent to container 1. Got it? In this case, yes, remaining, except A remaining files, except A, the files which are not starting with A, those should be sent to different. Okay. If you want to perform such kind of conditional split, again function starts with, but there is no function here, not starts with. There is no function, not starts with. Then you have to apply logical functions. Okay. Basically, you have logical functions are the logical functions in ADF. For filter activity. Number 1, or. In general, in other SQL languages or programming languages, or and not, all these are operators. But in ADF, these are functions. Okay. How to apply multiple conditions in yesterday first part I explained it in yesterday class. Okay. At the rate or, at the rate and, at the rate not, at the rate equals, you want to compare whether both are equal or not, equals, like this. But there is no thing called not equals. At that time you have to apply a not of equals. Okay. Similarly here you have a function for starts with, but I want not starts with. That's why at the rate not of start with our I will apply. First you check whether not function is available or not. Whether not function is available or not, you just check it. I'm going to configure filter 2. Second filter. First input should be configured. Sorry, this is under settings. The input should be configured. Input from get metadata output dot child items. Let me check one chat message here. Yes, Prasad, correct. Already for my previous question, you replied. Okay, condition. In the case of condition, you want to apply not function. Not function is available under logical category. Please check this. Logical. Yes, here logical. Click on that. Check for not equals if less or equals not is available. Got it? On that way, whatever the function they provided you, only you can call them. I'm taking this copy, this one. But not is a separate function, starts with is a separate function. How to apply the combination? At the rate, not of. Now starts with is going to be sub function. That's why don't give at the rate. Starts with item dot name. Yeah. This is the condition for my second filter. I think one more bracket is required. Yes. Okay. Be careful about brackets. Nothing, sir. This is started with the 2. That's why closed with the 2 finally. Okay. I'm taking this copy. Right? This is our filter condition. Now filter 1 starting with A, filter 2 not starting with A. But in the outputs of the filters, definitely you will have multiple files, but you want to work with each file so that you have to perform a loop. What is our looping activity here? For each. The for each I am going to configure. One for each for first filter. One more for each for second filter. Okay. First, let's finish the first for each. For the first for each, input is coming from filter 1. Got it. For second, input is coming from filter 2. Got it. Before configuring for each, just check the output of each filter, sir. Filter 1 output and filter 2 output. Okay. I'm going to debug this first. Click on validate. If any configuration mistakes are there, the validation phase will highlight you. And I'm running under debug mode. Please check both filter outputs. Get metadata 1 is triggered now. Process is in progress. Okay, sir, all phases completed. Sir, first you tell me in this, what are sequential, what are parallel? What activities execute? So what are the different phases of sequence activities here? First, get metadata 1. If it is successful, then only next phase filters. But filter 1, filter 2 parallelly will be executed because there is no dependency. There is no dependency between filter 1 and filter 2. That's why those two things will be parallelly executed. So already have checked output of get metadata. Check output of filter 1. What you are expecting? What you are expecting in the filter 1? Only the files which are starting with A. Please check it now. Okay. If you cannot see, I will copy into Notepad because very small letters. Check the output. All files are starting with A only, right? Okay, so that first filter successful. Second filter output, you please check it. Other than A, all the remaining files. First one is B, next third one is E. Got it. On that way. Okay, now I am going to configure for each. One more for each. Connecting filter 1 and for each 1. And connecting filter 2 and for each 2. Okay. But for each is a looping activity. Under loop activity, at least one sub activity should be there. At least one. Okay. So I'm going to configure first for each one. Output directory should be container X. Already have checked the data set. I'm going for the settings. Sir, what is the difference between sequential and batch? Online team, please answer. What is the difference between sequential and batch, and when to use what?
We use sequential.
So remember the scenario. In our example, I have only 10 or 20 files. But in real time containers, you might observe thousands of files. If it is sequential, after completion of first file, it will copy second file. After completion of second, it will copy third file. Suppose for each file copy, that is taking 5 minutes time, means because of big volume, 1000 file copy, 1000 into 5 minutes. That means huge processing time. Only for uploading data, only huge processing will be taken. That's why here, if money is not matter to you, you can go for parallel. If I say 100, 1000 divided by 100, how much? 10. Total number of files are divided into 10 separate batches. In the first batch, 100 files, 10 files. In second batch, again, 10 files, like that. All these batches will be executed parallel. So your previous time will be divided by 100 now. Previously 5000 minutes means 5000 divided by 100. That means in 50 minutes your work will be completed. Got it? But definitely your bill will be high, because parallel process means more number of nodes to be engaged. For each resource, Azure will charge you. Got it? Okay. Later. For now, I am choosing only sequential. Under for each, here what you have to specify is, for this particular activity, what is your input? You are at for each one, sir. Input is from what? Filter one. That thing you have to configure. Okay. Please check. I'm going for items. Click on add dynamic content. Under activity outputs, you can see two things, filter one and filter two. Filter one and get metadata one. Now click on filter one. But in the previous output, you have observed where are your values. Your required information is this one. That is in which field? Under value field. Understand? So that's why for every activity output, first of all, you have to check that output. What field name it has produced, you have to check it. Okay. Now I'm going to add that. Output, under output, dot value. Within that value, items are there. Got it. Within that value, items are there. I'm selecting that value. Now for each one, input configuration is ready, but sub activity not yet configured. At least one sub activity. Click on the third tab. Okay. So here it is asking you what activity you want. Just click on this pencil symbol. Here I'm going to drag copy activity. Understand? Within this copy activity, configuration is little different. You have to configure source and sync. The source, selecting my input container. That input container is storage lake 101 underscore source. But this source has a lot of files, right? Okay. But you should take it from You should take not all the files. You should take only filtered output files only. That's why I click on wild file path. Click on wildcard file path. Here, for every iteration, one file name should be applied over here. I will just lift up this under this. Okay. So did you check the previous option, all of you? Click on this wildcard file path. After that, click on this box. That means after source container, your real file name should be applied in the runtime. Understand? But not all the files. At a time, only one file should be applied. At each iteration, one file should be applied. So click on add dynamic content. Okay, don't get confused. Look at activity outputs. Filter one, we don't want that because already filter one is taken into for each. Now for each is going to iterate the loop. That's why I come down for each iterator. Here for each current item, select current item. Understood? But within that item, two things are there: file name, file type. I want name only. That's why dot name. Understand? That will be applied in the runtime. Now, what is happening in the first iteration? From source container, first file will be taken. In second iteration, second file will be taken as input. Got it? Now, my source is ready, the target. All files which are starting with A, I want to write into container X. For that, we have data set for that. ds underscore container X. Let me check. Here it is. So for this, you need not to set any wildcard characters. That is just a sync. Okay. Now copy one activity. That means is ready. So that for each one is ready. Come back to your original flow. For each one is ready. Now pending is for each two. Click on this.
Hello, sir.
Related configurations. You please tell me. What, sir? 1 minute. Settings. First general for each two. Yeah. Under settings, I am selecting sequential. First input. Input should be from. For each two, input should be from filter 2.
Filter 2.
Select that. I'm selecting filter dot value. Understood? Next, activities. Only one activity, sir. Just copy the copy activity, copy data activity. The first step is source configuration. Under this, your input container. 101 underscore source. Click on wildcard and select this file path, but the file name should be applied dynamically in the runtime. That's why I click on add dynamic content. Go to last here for each two current item. It has given @item dot name. That means file name will be applied now. Okay. Now finally click on working. Source configuration ready. Next, target, which is container X. Selecting that container X. Sorry, container Y. Okay, container Y. That is done. Now this is whatever complete flow. Get metadata. From that, two filters. From each filter for each. Under each for each, copy activity. Totally 4 activities combination in this pipeline. Got it? Now we can run this. Validate. Validation successful. Running debug. Now started. It will take few minutes time. Please observe. Filter 1, filter 2 also completed. All are completed. Okay. Now, if you are okay, then publish all these things. This pipeline will be published. Otherwise, that is available only temporarily. Okay. So totally 4 files, 4 or 5 files into. Please check the output. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 files. 4 files into container X. Remaining 5 files into, not 5, other different 4 files into container Y. Okay. But file names will be different. Maybe this kind of issue will be solved in future by the ADF. Please check the files, sir. Storage like 104 container X previously empty. Now 4 files. Okay. And container Y. Again 4 files. But these files are like the files start with B and E. That means other than A. Got it? So this is what like simply the conditional suite. All of you understood this? So yesterday also like we started discussion about this, but in the middle that is cut off. I will share yesterday 2 videos. Yesterday 2 topics we have taken, those 2 videos and this recorded session also I will upload by afternoon, sir. Tomorrow I will go with the new activities and we will discuss about more functions. We have seen only few functions. Some of the important regular usage functions we will discuss, and then we go to the important topic, data flows. That is exactly the important. Once data flow is completed, we will use the new feature in ADF. One more new feature, Power Query is introduced. Okay, after completion of data flows, I will explain that Power Query. Okay, then our ADF part will be completed, but still one thing is important. What you are doing, sir? Your input is in Azure, output is in Azure. In all these things. But in real time, your first work will be with On-premise to cloud migration. Once data migrated to cloud, then remaining work will be with completely what we are doing now. Okay, in the climax, you will be become hands-on with the on-premise to cloud migrations also. And some real-time implementations like SCD1 and SCD2, how to perform incremental loads, all these important tasks also will be same. These are the regular activities within the ADF. Not only in ADF, in any ETL too. Okay. Yeah, you can rename Rajesh, but if there are 4 files, you can rename. If there are 4,000 files, understood. Manual rename is not that much good solution. Okay. Again, whether this is whether first file same data or not, you need to tally, and after that you have to rename. That is manual work, right? We will wait. So how Microsoft is going to provide solution for this? Yeah. Okay, sir, all of you. Let's see tomorrow in tomorrow's session. So it depends on the topic, sir. Sometimes the class will be completed before the time only. And sometimes based on the content, the time will be extended even based on the topic. Right? Okay. Let's see tomorrow. Did I record this session? Yes. So yesterday 2 sessions and today 1 session. I will upload by afternoon. Please wait till afternoon. I hope all of you have created your Azure accounts and started working with this. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you all.